You must be the guys I've been hearing about. Tell me exactly what happened.
We just wanted to have a great night.
We all just want to have a good night, but in this new thriller, a road trip with 3 college friends turns into a nightmare. The movie has a strong North Texas connection, so before the movie hits theaters, we're excited to be joined by Dallas film director John Burr. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So glad to have you here. So you're originally from Dallas, and now you're directing a major feature film. And so what first sparked your passion for filmmaking growing up?
You know, I was born the day after Halloween, and so when the spooky time of year came around, I was always kind of excited. Yeah. And I guess somehow in my head, those got conflated into making little horror movies with my friends running around town with a video camera. And as I grew up, I started to realize this could be a career, and you can actually take some life lessons and you can put them into this thrill ride of a movie. And you can entertain people, but you can also kind of make them think.
Yes, well, it sounds like it was in you from the jump, and it just kind of evolved from there. So for those who haven't caught the buzz just yet on The Gates, give us a little bit about what the plot is without giving too much.
Sure. It's about 3 young men that live in Dallas, and they're on their way up to Denton to go to a college party. And they hit traffic along the way, as we all have done before.
Yes.
And they take a shortcut that leads them to this brand new, opulent, gated community in the middle of nowhere. Try to get through the gated community, they get stuck inside where they witness a murder. So for the remainder of the evening, they're being pursued by the killer, they're stuck inside the walls, and they're fractured by their own belief systems. And we have to root for these guys to make it out alive.
Oh my gosh. Okay, it almost sounds relatable just because of what you said in the belief systems, but also the fact that local people get to see Denton represented on the big screen is so exciting. And so tell me, I know you said because you've been inspired by horror since you were a child, but what inspired this particular idea of the college party, them getting stuck? Where did that come from?
Well, you know, I wanted to show people a Texas that wasn't always projected on screen. I wanted to dig into the really specific communities that we have out here. And I wanted to show how what people might think from the outside might differ from what I actually experienced growing up. And so I thought it was a great opportunity to take people, thrust them into a situation and see how they react in a time of crisis.
I like this. And it's a really strong cast as well, including Mason Gooding, Keith Powers, and the late James Van Der Beek. And so tell me, what was it like working with this group of characters?
You know, working with James was a dream come true. As we said, I grew up right up the street in Richardson, and I've been making little movies since I was a kid. To find out that James was interested in bringing my dream to life in this film, it really made it feel authentic and real. So it was a blessing to work with him.
And for it to be one of his last projects, I mean, my goodness.
Yes, unfortunately, at the time, we were not aware of his battle. He was a leader and a patriarch on set. He became a mentor to the young guys that I worked with. And I could not be more sad to have lost him, but more proud to be able to bring his final performance to the screen.
Yes.
Yes. The 3 young men that I worked with, rising stars, wonderful guys, Mason, Keith, and Algie. They brought a tremendous energy to the screen, and the 3 of them combined with James were the family that we had on set that really brought us through things. Yes.
Wow, wow. Well, the thrillers, I feel like many thrillers, they rely on so much tension and atmosphere. So as the director, how did you approach building the suspense and keeping the audience on the edge of their seats? Because you do have a good cast, but that writing, how do you keep them enticed?
Yeah, so the setting for this is not a traditional setting for a horror or a thriller. It is a really nice, beautiful, gated community. So it really is about the performance of these guys as they're stuck in there, and every turn that they take leads to a dead end. And they're really reacting to each other, being torn apart by their instincts, and being pursued by this guy that the entire community trusts because, you know, he's this charismatic leader, and nobody will really listen to them. And so as things get more tense and dire, we're really sort of in their shoes as they're trying to figure out what to do next.
My goodness. Okay, I think everyone's on their edge of their seat at this point, ready to see this movie. Tell me where we can find it, how we can see it, and when it comes out.
It is releasing today, Friday the 13th, in Dallas area AMC theaters and nationwide.
All right. Thanks so much, John. Appreciate you being here this morning.